Now, let's take a look at verb tenses. Tenses indicate the time of action. The three primary tenses in English are the present tense, past tense, and future tense. Simple present describes habitual actions or general truths. Examples: she reads a book every night. She reads a book every night. They play football on weekends. They play football on weekends. He works at a bank. He works at a bank. The sun rises in the east. The sun rises in the east. We drink coffee every morning. We drink coffee every morning. Present continuous describes actions happening right now. She is reading a book right now. She is reading a book right now. They are playing football in the park. They are playing football in the park. He is working on a project. He is working on a project. The sun is shining brightly. The sun is shining brightly. We are having lunch together. We are having lunch together. Present perfect describes actions that happened at an unspecified time or started in the past and continue to the present. She has read that book already. She's read that book already. They have played football many times. They have played football many times. He has worked at the bank for 5 years. He has worked at the bank for 5 years. The sun has risen by the time I wake up. The sun has risen by the time I wake up. We have drank all the coffee. We have drunk all the coffee. Simple past describes actions that happened at a specific time in the past. She read a book yesterday. She read a book yesterday. They played football last weekend. They played football last weekend. He worked at the bank last year. He worked at the bank last year. The sun set at 6 p.m. The sun set at 6 p.m. We ate dinner at 7 p.m. We ate dinner at 7 p.m. Past continuous describes actions that were happening at a specific time in the past. She was reading a book when I called. She was reading a book when I called. They were playing football when it started to rain. They were playing football when it started to rain. He was working on his project all night. He was working on his project all night. The sun was setting as we arrived. The sun was setting as we arrived. We were eating dinner when the phone rang. We were eating dinner when the phone rang. Past perfect describes actions that were completed before another action in the past. She had read the book before the exam. She had read the book before the exam. They had played soccer, well, I like to say football, before it started to rain. They had played football, soccer before it started to rain. He had worked at the bank before he moved to another city. He had worked at the bank before he moved to another city. The sun had set by the time we reached home. The sun had set by the time we reached home. We had eaten dinner before the guests arrived. We had eaten dinner before the guests arrived. Simple future describes actions that will happen. She will call you tomorrow. She will call you tomorrow. We will visit the museum next week. We will visit the museum next week. He will start his new job on Monday. He will start his new job on Monday. They will buy a new house soon. They will buy a new house soon. I will attend the meeting at 10 a.m. I will attend the meeting at 10 a.m. Future continuous describes actions that will be happening at a specific time in the future. I will be working on the project all day. I will be working on the project all day. They will be traveling to Paris this time next month. They will be traveling to Paris this time next month. She will be studying for her exams this weekend. She will be studying for her exams this weekend. We will be having dinner at 7 p.m. We will be having dinner at 7 p.m. He will be driving to the airport at 6 a.m. He will be driving to the airport at 6 p.m. 6 a.m. Future perfect describes actions that will be completed before a specific time in the future. By next year, he will have finished his degree. By next year, he will have finished his degree. By tomorrow, she will have completed the report. By tomorrow, she will have completed the report. By 5 p.m., they will have arrived at their destination. By 5 p.m., they will have arrived at their destination. By next week, we will have launched the new product. By next week, we will have launched the new product. By the end of the month, I will have saved enough money for the trip. By the end of next month, I will have saved enough money for the trip. Be going to. Used to express intentions, plans, predictions, or future events that are already decided or likely to happen. It is often used when there is evidence or an intention behind the future action. Structure. It's formed with the subject plus am or is or are, depending on the pronoun that you used before. Present form of to be plus going to plus base form of the verb. Let's have a look at some examples to help you understand how to use be going to. I am going to buy a new car next month. I am going to buy a new car next month. I'm planning to buy a new car next month. They are going to visit their grandparents this weekend. They are going to visit their grandparents this weekend. They are planning, they have the intention to go and visit their grandparents. Look at those dark clouds. It's going to rain soon. Look at those dark clouds. It's going to rain soon. She is going to ace the exam because she studied very hard. There is evidence. Now, the first example, there is evidence that it's going to rain because the clouds are dark. In the second example, there is evidence that she's going to ace the exam because she studied very hard. So I'm confident to say that she's going to ace it. Why? Because there is evidence she studied very hard. Moving on. We're going to have a party for Sarah's birthday next Saturday. Right? So, about an event, a future event already decided. We're going to have a party for Sarah's birthday next Saturday. He's going to start his new job in September. He is going to start his new job in September. I'm going to clean the house later today. I'm going to clean the house later today. Are you going to watch the football match tonight? Are you going to watch the football match tonight? They're going to win the competition. They've been practicing for months, right? I'm confident that they're going to win because they've been practicing for months. She's going to get the promotion. Why? Because her performance has been outstanding. Outstanding. This is a nice word. I like it. This is outstanding.